Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I want to welcome you to day 2 of Inktober. I am so excited because I found this really cute silhouette of a kitty cat on Unsplash. I will go ahead and put it right up here. The iCard will actually be on top of it. And that iCard is for my Inktober from last year. He is so cute. And I am going to do it with the Zebra Technical Drawing Pen. It is waterproof. If you saw my pen test from the weekend, just previously, okay, that one's going to pop up here now too. The pen test, the cheap Wish pens versus real artist pens. Which one came out ahead? Check out the video and find out. But today I'm using my number 0.4 Zebra Sensations Technical Drawing Pen. So let's see here. We're going to start off. Now, kitty cat, the head, I mean, if you wanted to, you could draw this in pencil first. And I'm going to go ahead and draw like I was going to do it in pencil, but I'll do it with the pen because I said I was going to try drawing everything with pens. But then I'm going to use Inktense to fill them all in. So, I'll be able to disguise some of these pen marks. But if I was drawing this with a pen, I would go in, with a pencil, I would go in and give sort of a flattened circle for the head. And coming right up off of this edge, I would come up and give him a triangle for an ear that joins in here, and then a triangle for the ear that joins in on this side. Just like that. So right now you've got a circle with two little triangles. Now his body, he has kind of a little bit of a neck, so we're going to come down and give him a bit of a neck on that side and just a tinier bit on this side. So one side gets a bit more neck than the other. And his back is actually going to be bumped out right here. It looks like he's like this and like that. That looks kind of funny, doesn't it? But when you bring this line down, and I'm going to start lightening up that line just a little bit, bring it down, and then give him his tail like that. Starts to make a little more sense, doesn't it? Now, this is actually a fuzzy line, so I'm going to go ahead and fuzz that line out a little bit. Fuzzy line down the front, and then he's sitting on the table or on the ground right here. So let's plant his little self right there, and you'll see his little feet sticking out just a bit. This is all going to be in silhouette when we're done, so I'm not too worried about making it perfect. So this line right here comes down about halfway of between the ground and his top of his shoulder. Came down about halfway. This is where his front foot is going to come out and be sitting on the table also. Like this. And then it comes up, and then he's got his little fuzzies in his bit right there. We'll have a bit of a line and another bit of his foot on the other side. But remember, this is all going to be in shadow. It's all going to be silhouette. Then there's going to be his shadow that is going off. Coming this way, there's a little bit of light coming between. And then he's got shadow here And his tail is actually just above the ground, but then there's some other shadows from the window. And then that's going like this. Those other shadows. And then there's a broader line. And then there's some lines coming across this way. It's like he's sitting in the shadow of a French door. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. But I am going to go ahead and plant his whiskers out here. He's got a whole ton of these little cute little whiskers. And you see them from the back, because this is the back side of him. This little line right here, that's only because I needed it for putting in the kitty. So now, let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think we're going to go ahead and start filling it in. What do you think? Pretty easy. Now I'm going to use the Inktense blocks again, and I'm using the black and the gray. Just two. I'm not putting in any other colors, and I'm just getting them. Okay, I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm dipping my brush in water, and I'm just brushing it on that ink stick, because that's what the Derwent Inktense are. They are ink sticks. So now I'm going to go ahead and just start filling in. I'll probably do a couple layers of paint on the kitty. Ink on the kitty. But you know, it's fun to be able to do things like this. You certainly could do this in pencil first and then do your pen outlines, or just do your ink wash to fill him in. Any of it is legal. So you don't have to worry. And nobody is going to come along and say, oh, you did Inktober wrong, if you start in pencil. I'm just doing my challenge for myself as doing it all in pen. You don't have to do that. If drawing is a new skill to you and you're just exploring it, please explore. Please have fun. Enjoy the process. Don't be worried about how it looks. I mean, this is a sketchbook. This is a sketchbook challenge for me. I am not thinking that any of these are going to turn out being perfect, ready for production or making, making posters or cards or anything from. But I love this little kitten. He is so cute. I probably should have grabbed a bigger paintbrush so that I could get this in more quickly. Let's go ahead and get that wet. And maybe that will help. I'm going to wet this paper down. Seems to have a bit of sizing in it, so it doesn't soak in immediately. It keeps some of the water pooled on top for a minute or two at least. But there, see, we're just having fun. Because it's a silhouette, if you can get a flat black coating of color, go for it. I don't think I'm going to get a completely flat black cover of paint, of ink. I keep calling it paint because it's like watercolor, but it's not. This is actually ink. So once it's dry, and it won't lift up. and it won't move around. It makes really cool ink wash type look when you get it really, really wet. And I'm not worried about having those brushy marks or the overlaps, because I'm going to go in, like I said, I'm probably doing a couple coats of this. We'll let it get sort of set in. And when I'm putting my brush strokes in, I am going the way the fur would be going on the cat, just in case it shows up. So like down here on his foot, that's actually going to be coming back just a little bit, or going over his foot and down. His hip is actually right in here, but I'm not too worried about that. His fur is covering all of it. But I want the fur on the tail to go the tail way, tail-wise. And look at that. And even though I had put all that drawing around it, you're really not seeing those pen lines too much. I mean, I can see them up close, but I'm not disturbed by them. And this is in my sketchbook. I'm allowed to explore, and I'm allowed to share my explorations with you guys, because I gave myself permission to do that. I gave myself permission to not have everything be perfect. Not a requirement in this sketchbook for my Inktober. But I want you guys to see how you can lay things in. So I'm going to, yeah, that's good. I'm going to start putting his shadows in, and those shadow lines along the floor. You know, yep, there's a bit of an outline on his shadow because I did it with pen. I would suggest just using your ink wash or your watercolor, colored pencil, graphite, whatever you're going to use to make your shadows. I would recommend that you just lay them in and don't do a pen outline of your shadow. I just did it so you could see what I was doing. Yep. Need to water that down some. This shadow out here was a little bit darker. And then these were actual shadow lines, so I'm going to go ahead and just get them in. See? I'm not being fussy. I'm not being too worried about making it perfect. Don't make it perfect. Just have fun. So, and then there's a line going across like this. So, there we are. And you see, I didn't even dry anything in between. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I see another line over there. Another window. There's another window over there. And the panes don't quite match up. Or maybe they do. See? There we go. I hope you enjoyed this quick little kitten sitting in the sun with a shade of, with the shadows behind him here. See, this shadow down here at the bottom just sort of disappears. I mean, it all just blends in together. There we go. And, you know, there's planks on this. You can do a light kind of dry brush. Sort of give the effect of the floor. Just sort of, sort of touching it on the edge of the side of the brush here, just sort of laying it and letting it streak across. There. I wanted a little bit of that, a little bit more. The Inktense is not going to hurt my black velvet brush because it is a water media that just is just as safe to use. There we go. Oh. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, and come back for more Inktober 2018. So go out, do something creative, take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. And I hope to see you back here again really soon. Bye-bye.